SOHCAHTOA, SOHCAHTOA. Oh, sorry, I was just sitting here doing a little rain dance, but you know that rain dance might help you with this problem. All right, think back to SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. Remember, SOHCAHTOA is the mnemonic device we use to remember what sine, cosine, and tangents compare. Remember, sine, cosine, and tangents are just comparisons between the sides of a right triangle. Now, we have a right triangle here, check, so we're ready to go. So remember that sine equals OH, or opposite, over hypotenuse. Cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse. See, I got the A and the H. And then the tangent, which is T, is the opposite over the adjacent. So how can I put that to use in this problem? Which property can be justified using the ratios in triangle XYZ? Well, this is kind of a funny way to ask this question. I don't believe we did any quite like this, so let's take a look. The sine of angle Z. Well, the sine of angle Z would be the opposite over the hypotenuse. Well, we all know that the hypotenuse is directly across from the right angle. So this guy, no matter which angle we look at, this is our hypotenuse. If we're looking at angle Z right here, though, the sine would be the opposite over the hypotenuse. So it would be something over x. So this can't be right because that's not something over x. All right, the sine of y, so now we're looking at y over here. The sine of y is really opposite over the hypotenuse, so that would be y over x. All right, well, let me put it down here, y over x. All right, so let me go erase this right here. Well, they say that the sine of y is equal to the cosine of 90 plus y. Well, hold on a second. That can't be right because 90 plus y would be 140 degrees. We can only do that for angles that are less than 90 degrees. So that would give us a number greater than 90 degrees. So it can't be that one. I don't even have to work any further. I know that. All right, so let me erase what I started writing over here. All right, so let's take a look at answer choice C. And I'm going to change colors so you can tell I'm doing something different now. All right, the cosine of angle Z. All right, this is angle Z over here. The cosine is the adjacent. Cosine of Z would be the adjacent over the hypotenuse. So in this case, it would be y over x. Okay? All right, now it says that that is equal to the sine of 90 minus z. Say what? So 90 minus z is 40 degrees. So that'd be the same as the sine of 50 degrees. And the sine of 50 degrees, if I'm looking over here, here's 50 degrees. So the sine of that would be the opposite, which is y, over the hypotenuse, which is x. So that would give me y over x. So check that out. Those two are equal. So that is the property that can be justified using the ratios in that triangle. Now, normally I would recommend that you go on and do answer choice D as well. And the only reason I'm not going to do that, well, yeah, I'll go ahead and do it. Let me go ahead and do it over here on the side. Let me change colors. I was not going to do it because I'd run out of room, but let's do it over here. All right, the tangent of y equals the cosine of z over the sine of y. And when you're actually taking your interim assessment and your end of course test, I do actually recommend that you check all the answers because it's possible to make a mistake somewhere. All right, so I'm going to erase all this drawing I've done over here on our diagram so that I can start fresh. All right, the tangent of y. All right, so here's y over here. Here's angle y. And the tangent will be the opposite over the adjacent, so it'll be y over z. So I'm going to make that y over z. All right, now the cosine of z. The cosine of z, here's z over here. Didn't we define cosine of z already? Is y over x. Y over x over the sine of y. And again, I think we've found that before, haven't we? The sine of y, well, let's just do it again. The sine of y will be the opposite over the hypotenuse, which is also y over x. Well, if I have y over x, that's going to equal 1, right? So y over z equals 1? Nope, don't think so. So the correct answer choice here is definitely C. Okay, so all I had to do was figure out sine, cosine, and tangent on both sides of the equals until I found one that equaled itself. Okay, so hopefully that helps you with number 30. That's a little complicated, but I know you can do it.